Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So, I thought I'd just come back. It's a really kind of frightening time, isn't it? We've just had another huge leap in deaths in England from this thing that's going around, this virus. I know that we can't mention the name via YouTube, and it's a really scary time. So, I'm just gonna probably just be putting out a little bit more content if I can. I've got private clients and stuff to do at the minute, but I'll be putting out as and when I can. If I can put out every day, I will. Just a little something. Just to, do my bit to distract people from the horrors of what's happening in our world at the moment. Praying that you're all keeping as well as you can. It's not a nice thing for anyone to go through, I think. I had a little bit of worries about a particular person in my family for a moment, but I think she's okay. But yeah, I just want you guys just to try and remain optimistic if you can. I'll try to. Sometimes, the other day I was feeling really quite upset about the whole thing because, it's just a hard thing to deal with, I think, for a lot of people. And, that's why my work is so important to me. That's why I'm really happy with the work that I do. I work from home. I run my own tarot business. I enjoy it because it distracts me and it takes my mind away the sheer horror of what's going on. But if we can just try and remain positive, that's I think a really good start, as naive, I guess, in a way, and cheesy as that sounds. I thought I'd come with a reading on Harry and Meghan. Now, I haven't done one in a while. I think the last one was probably over a year ago or something like that. I stopped doing them because I just thought, I just can't be bothered with the drama. Do you know what I mean? Because people kind of tend to lose their heads on Harry and Meghan stuff. It's just it's really weird. It's like, even though this thing is going on at the moment, I only have to look in the papers and online papers, and if you get this, story, and then you get a story on Harry and Meghan, it's crazy because Harry and Meghan will get more comments. It's really weird. It's like they really rub people up the wrong way. And I think the last time I did some readings on them, I just got absolutely crucified, especially for one of the readings, which, to be honest with you, I wasn't trying to be biased, and it wasn't any hate on them at all. I was just saying what I felt and what I saw. And I think that if you're for them and you really like them, sometimes you can get carried away with, somebody who's just trying to be objective about the whole thing. For me, I don't necessarily give a shit. I'll be honest with you. I don't really care. I really don't. I don't care either way. They're not paying my bills. They're not putting food on my table. They're not putting clothes on my back. They're not doing any of that stuff. So, and if anything, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a royalist. It's in times like this where you realise just what's important, like our health, people. The UK at the moment, oh my goodness. Sorry, and I'm going to get a bit political, and some of you guys are probably going to start unsubscribing. Well, go ahead and do so. It's okay. I don't mind. But as far as I'm concerned, we need to be putting more money into the NHS and into, especially in the UK, for the people that are watching the channel, for the UK, we need to put more money into the NHS. These doctors and nurses putting themselves on the front line every single day, especially with this horrible thing going around. And I could cry. I just cried the other day. I just thought these people are amazing. It really filled me with such, I don't know, I can't explain it. They just do an amazing job. And I hope that Prince Charles is okay. I heard that he had perhaps this thing. Hope he's alright. I really do. The Queen as well. We've all grown up with the Queen, and she's an amazing woman. Do we need a monarchy? For me, no. We need that money to be put in to train more doctors and nurses up, so that when we have things like this happen, you've got more ammunition to deal with it. And I'm probably going to do a little bit on this, and also I've got a book here. I've been doing a lot of kind of my own personal readings, so this is my book of own personal readings and stuff on. And I looked at something to do with the corona. Oh, there you go. I looked at something to do with this thing that's going around, and I might show you my findings on that as well. But I just feel that, if what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to kind of like be losing your head over something like this, it's a bit weird to me. I'll be honest, it is. It's just like, why? Why are they? Why is this so important to so? I don't mind doing a reading on it. As I said, I used to do a few on the channel. My channel is not based on doing readings on Harry and Meghan. Not because I'm opposed to it and anybody else doing it. You got some wonderful channels out there doing it, and they're very successful, and I think they're great at what they do. I love Tarot by Janine. She's a phenomenal reader. She's really good. I watch her mostly because I like the way that she reads the cards. I like to see how she interprets the cards. Mostly that's why I watch her channel. Not so much for the Harry and Meghan thing, but more how she interprets things, which I think is really interesting. And there's various other channels that I've dipped in and out of, but I just feel that you got to keep it into perspective. They don't put food on your table. They don't. I know that we have to pay our taxes towards their upkeep, and a lot of people are not happy with that. But I just think that when a reader comes out, like I'm going to do a reading now, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this reading as well. I was having my dinner. What did I have for dinner? I had tuna and baked potatoes for dinner, and I turned on to one of those. They don't do channel, these other channels don't. They do like a running commentary on what they think of Harry and Meghan. It's one of those types of channels. I think people like Danger Zone, it's that type of thing. And the lady that I watched turned around and said that she felt that Harry and Meghan would hot-foot it back to the UK because Canada aren't going to pay for them to live their security, and neither will America. So they'll come back here. So I thought, that's interesting. Okay. So I just thought, while I was eating my dinner, I got some cards out. This is the This Might Hurt tarot deck. And I thought, this one here. And I thought, let me have a look. I'll see what the tarot says. So this is what came up. And I thought, that's interesting. What is all this about then? So I thought, after dinner, settle down and do a reading. Do a reading and show all your findings. And as I say, it's a bit of fun. It's a distraction from what's going on. And that's how I want it to be taken. I want it just to be taken as a bit of fun and as a distraction. I don't want people losing their heads over anything. Why bother? Why? Why are we losing our heads over this? It's ridiculous. They're not paying your bills. They're not paying my bills. I know that we pay our taxes towards them in the UK, but why get so angry about shit? It just makes, to me, fair enough, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I just think, come on, let's put it into perspective. If you want to comment, you can, but keep it polite. It's just ridiculous to lose one's head over things. Got much more important battles to fight at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, this is what came out. I don't think so. The question I posed to the cards was, are they going to move back to the UK? And what I got was a Three of Swords showing here, which to me would say no. Three of Swords is going to always be a no. So, no. I don't think they are. Personally, according to the cards. And remember, it's each to their own opinion. All right? So, the lady I watched, she's very, very good at what she does. She's exceptional at what she does. She's very clear. She's really good at commenting on, Harry and Meghan and all sorts of, royal things. And that was her opinion, and I respect her for that. That's fair enough. But according to what my cards were saying, I feel no, okay? Because the Three of Swords is a no, okay? Now, this Two of Wands here would suggest to me that they're staying put for now. Now, you can see in this lady's hands the plan. Can you see? Now, that might be Meghan sitting on that car and saying, no, we're not moving back. We're staying parked at the moment. So, no, I don't think they're going to move back. They're going to stay parked. But what they're doing while they're staying parked is they're looking at the plans. Can you see how she's looking at the plans? So she's planning ahead, basically. So they're saying, no, we're looking at plans because we're going to stay put for a while we're planning ahead. So they're going to stay put while they're planning their next steps with that Two of Wands energy showing here. All right? And their next steps could be in probably one of two countries. Because you've got the Two of Swords showing here. So then, just kind of riffing off the next card onto this one, their next step will be that they've got a choice between two places, probably. So no, I don't see them moving back to the UK. That is probably, for me, when I look at this, could be wrong, but this is what the tarot was saying at the time when I pulled the cards. No, it doesn't see them moving back. They're staying where they are for the time being while they're planning ahead. They're probably they've got a choice of two places that they want to live in. Wherever that might, Who knows? The only two places I could think that they'd want to live is either in Canada or America. I don't know where else, because this is saying no. So it's saying England, no. I think it's saying no. They're not going to move back to England. Staying parked, staying where they are. Obviously, the thing going round means that they'll stay where they are while they make plans ahead, and they're probably looking at maybe a choice between two places. Or even two houses. Who knows? I do feel, though, that, and this is what intrigued me most in this area here, when I saw that they were worrying, and I thought, worrying? Worrying about what? I think that they're worrying about, I think that they're worrying about a secret. Okay? I think they're worrying with the Nine of Swords about a secret coming out. Because if you get cards like the Moon, the Hermit, the High Priestess, any of those cards can mean that somebody is hiding something. And when you get the Freedom of the Fool, it simply means it's coming out. So they're worried, Nine of Swords, about a secret coming out. Alright? So possibly they're staying parked. They're not moving back to the UK, and they're staying where they are until they plan which direction they're going to go in. Maybe connected to them being worried about a secret coming out. Okay. Now, this area here said the Ten of Wands. They're struggling. What are they struggling with? Well, they're struggling to remain happy. In what? The Hierophant. Now, this cannot be the royal family. We already know that they didn't like being in the royal family. That's why they left. So this must be the marriage. So this area here may be connecting with this area here. Okay. So perhaps they're worried about a secret coming out, that they're struggling to remain happy in the marriage. Alright? So, what I did was I clarified. I only clarified so far with two cards from my trimmed Thelema deck. And what I got was very interesting. You see this Ten of Swords. So I posed the question, well, if they're struggling to remain happy in the marriage, why? I've got the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Wands. What immediately struck me about that Ten of Swords is it looked like Meghan. And look at who the guy is. Doesn't that look like Harry? Oh my God, it's like a doppelganger. It's exactly Harry. And that's Meghan on the floor. When you get a Ten of Swords, one of the meanings for this, it has several meanings, the Ten of Swords does. Alright? One of the meanings with the Ten of Swords can be surrender and acceptance. The other thing, though, with the Ten of Swords, because swords represent words, and because there is, the Ten of Swords can be, a violent act, this could actually represent criticism. She's being criticised. She's being pinned down by criticism. And there's Harry trying to defend her. So one of the reasons why they're struggling to remain happy in the marriage is because he's consistently trying to protect her from being criticised with the Ten of Swords. Can you see that? Can you see how many swords are in her? These are all the words that are being levied against her by all directions. Whether it's on Twitter, on Instagram, or, via the media, or, one celebrity, like, for example, I think Joan Collins said, they asked Joan, I think, last week or something, how do you feel about Meghan Markle wanting to become a superhero? And I think that Joan Collins laughed and said, you've got to be kidding. Things like that. Or Stephanie, I don't know what her name is. She's from a show called Heart to Heart, I think it is, saying that Meghan was, just after the fame or something like that. So you can imagine the amount of criticism that Meghan Markle gets with that Ten of Swords energy, and Harry trying to... So it's really funny. I thought, that's Meghan on the floor, and that's Harry. So obviously he's having to protect her against all of the criticism that's being levied against her, and that's why they're struggling to remain happy in the marriage. So obviously, for me, to my eyes, and remember, I have to keep interjecting here to let people know that this is just an objective point of view. Alright? I don't give a shit about them either way. I really don't. Seriously. Seriously, too many other things to worry about in this day and age. But I do find it an interesting thing from time to time. So, because in the in the vein of just trying to kind of interject a bit of lightheartedness for everyone, because we're all a little bit fragile and a little bit worried at the moment. Let's be honest about it. We're all a little bit nervous about this, this thing that's going around at the minute. So I just want to be able to come on and just, bring in a few things and do a few things, and just watch it. If you don't. It's absolutely fine. There's no problem here with me, But please, try not to take things too seriously. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. I'm not being, judgmental of them at all. I've got no time for that. Whether she had a surrogate, whether she didn't, whether she, whether they live in the same house, whether they don't. It makes no odds to me. But my cards are saying to me, when I look at these cards here, that they are struggling to remain happy, Nine of Cups, struggling Ten of Wands to remain happy, Nine of Cups, within the marriage of the Hierophant, because he's consistently having to defend her against criticisms. You can see all the criticisms are levied against her, even though they're levied against him as well, and both of them. And it's funny, but it's almost like, if you look at this card, it's almost like she's lying down and just accepting and taking it, but Harry is consistently ready to fight. So if you look at the imagery here as well, it's like she's ready just to lie down and take it, because she's not fighting against the criticism, she's just surrendering to it. But he's ready to get up and fight. Seven of Wands energy. He's ready to fight. Also, what's interesting as well is that he stands at the door. So it's almost like he's protecting something from coming out. It's almost like people want to know stuff, but he won't let them in here as well. So I think that what's happening is that the amount of criticism that's been levied against her and him, to all intents and purposes, that he's consistently having to defend, I think it's taken a toll on their marriage. That's why they're struggling to remain happy within the marriage. Because the amount of criticism that they're getting, it makes it more difficult to remain happy. I guess that when they first got together, and it's a shame, because I put a reading up. I did a massive reading. I think it was at the start, January, when the news broke that that they were leaving the royal family, and I deleted it. I thought, I can't be bothered to put this up. It was really, I should have really put it up, but I just couldn't be bothered to do it, because I just thought, it's just too much bullshit's going to happen if I put this up, so I can't be bothered to put it up. Not that I care. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not a hugely big YouTuber anymore, am I? Tarot reader. I get a small amount of views on the videos, so it doesn't matter really, does it? It's not about kind of affecting my stature on YouTube or anything. It was just, I just thought I can't be bothered to put it up. But it was an interesting reading, to see, because the trajectory on that reading was really showing what was happening when they were, when they were about to leave the UK and that type of thing. And I feel that, when they start, and I think this is what I wanted to say, when I did that reading, it showed that neither one of them really thinks, in a way. They do stuff, but then they kind of, repent at leisure after. For me, what's happening in that relationship, in a way, is that you've got, and I think that she's the right person for him at the right time. That's what I think. Because I think there's lessons for them to learn from each other, especially Harry to learn about her. From her, because I think that she's the right person for him, because they were both wild cards, but they also very much, for me, live in the moment as people. That's what I was getting, because I had a lot of wands on that reading, I remember. It's a shame you didn't see it, that I took it down. I didn't bother putting it up, but I'm getting people that very much live in the moment, and they do things that feel good to them in the moment. But the problem with doing things in the moment and not really thinking them through is that you can actually kind of make mistakes. And I feel that the reason that it's taking a toll on their marriage, because when you do tarot, you've got to try and look behind the lines of what you're doing. So you're not just looking at a card and say, yeah, this is that, that's it, bum. You're looking behind the lines. Why would this major criticism take a toll on their marriage? Why is it taking a toll? Because they're together as a united front, right? Every time we see them, they're holding hands, they're a united front, this, that, and the other. So how is this taking a toll so badly on the marriage? If it's not that they got together in the beginning and they had all of this kind of dreams and all of these idealisms about what was going to happen in the relationship, what was going to happen. You know, she moves to England, they have the fairy tale marriage, it's going to be amazing, you're going to be queen of the world, he's going to be king of the world, you know, everybody's going to love you, blah, 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 this and the other. And then suddenly they're faced with all of this. It's not only that their status has been destroyed because of whatever the reason is for whatever's happened, which I'm not really going to go into because I don't need to have bullets being thrown at me. But it's also that the illusion has been destroyed as well, because I believe that they came into this marriage under an illusion to a certain extent, you know, to my mind anyway. And that's not me being judgmental at all, not in the least. I just read it how I see it. I think there was an illusion here that things were going to be this, that and the other. And what it's transpired into is Meghan being heavily criticised and Harry feeling the need to protect her against that, to defend her honour, if you like, with the Seven of Wands. And I think, and I'm going to ask why it's taken a toll on their marriage, actually. That's a good question to ask. So why is it taking a toll on their marriage? In 2 to 3 cards, why is all of the criticism that Meghan has had to deal with, and Harry to a certain extent, why is it kind of taken a toll on their relationship in 2 to 3 cards? Let's have a look at the first 2. Well, because of the 9 of Coins. So it could be money related, financial. But the 9 of Coins usually, I mean, it is a financial card, of course it is. It's money, it's financial gain, but it's also your personal security as well, with that 9 of Coins energy showing there. I think there's worries about personal security. 9 of Coins, financial worries. Financial worries. Can you see? Financial 9 of Coins worries. Okay, they're worried about money, gaining money. So it's taking a toll on their relationship because it's kind of impacting their ability, I think, to earn. If you think about it, the more that they are criticised, especially now that this thing is happening, and you know, they're putting out all of these tweets and this, that and the other, even if it's done in a really good way, you know, because I think that, you know, I've got to be honest, I think that they do things with the best of intentions at certain times. Okay, they did stuff like getting on planes when they shouldn't, private planes, and preaching to the world that, you know, about the carbon footprint and this, that and the other, and, you know, the O2 emissions and whatever it is. They, you know, preached about all of that stuff, and yet they were still getting on private planes. So you can understand people's annoyance when it's like, hang on a minute, you're saying to us to do this, this and this, but you're not doing it. And that's not just them. I don't think it was a personal thing on them, because I think it's anybody. If you don't practice what you preach, people aren't going to like it. That's just human nature. So that's just normal to react in that way. But I feel that, you know, things that are happening now in the world, and they've put certain things out and stuff like that, you know, you should be doing this, that and the other, that type of thing. And the more that people keep bringing them down for it, you know, for everything that they do, bringing them down, the more they will become a valuable commodity, as it were, you know. So we can clearly see the financial aspect here with the 9 of Coins. But what I find interesting is that a 9, and that's a 9 there, you know, and it's showing 2 women, 2 people, 1 person on this card, 1 person. So it's almost like somebody is personally worried here, because this can be a personal fortune as well. And also, the 9 of Coins is 2nd decan in Virgo. So that could easily be, even though it's a woman here, this could easily be Harry. Harry's worried about his personal fortune, because the 9 of Coins, the 10 of Coins is usually the family fortune, but the 9 of Coins is the personal fortune. So perhaps Harry is worried, 9 of Swords, about his personal fortune. Or he could be worried, 9 of Swords, about keeping Meghan in the style that she's become accustomed to, because there's a woman dressed very nicely here, and actually the 9 of Coins can be the card that represents unearned income. So this is a lady that lunches. When you get the 9 of Coins, this is the woman that spends time kind of getting her nails done, her hair done, you know, getting fancy clothes, that type of thing. So he may be worried about keeping her in the style that she's been accustomed to with the 9 of Coins. He may also be worried about his own personal fortune. And that's why all of this stuff, they've they're struggling to remain happy in the relationship, in the marriage, because he's having to defend her being criticized heavily here. And the reason that it's taking a toll, because that's the question that I asked, on the marriage is because of money. He's worried Nine of Swords about his personal fortune of the Nine of Coins, and he's also probably worried with the Nine of Swords energy about keeping her in the style that she's become accustomed to as well. Apparently, what are they worth? 35 million? 40 million at the most. Millionaires living in a billionaire playground. So millionaires living a billionaire lifestyle. If they're going to have to pay for all their own security and things like that, you can't do that on 40 million quid. 40 million pounds isn't that much when you live the lifestyle that they want to live. That's the problem. And that might be why there are worries about the personal fortune of the Nine of Coins, and there's worries about keeping her in the style that she's become accustomed to. The style that she would have been accustomed to was when she married into the royal family. You know, the clothing allowance of this, that and the other. That may not be so easy on simply £40 million, because they've got to carry on making money. Remember when they left the royal family, they said, thank you for your support whilst we try and become independent of. So they were saying, we're not independent yet, but we're going to try and make the money so we can become independent. And I should imagine that the money that they're trying to make is something around the 100 million, maybe even 200 million or £1 billion mark. It's a big amount of money that they're looking to make. The problem is that now with this thing hitting the world, this virus hitting the world, it may not be so easy to do that. This may have another impact on their ability to make money. That's the problem, because people are more focused on getting the world better and getting rid of this disgusting thing that is really impacting our health, our freedom, our loved ones, you know, rather than, unfortunately, these guys. So, yeah, it's a money thing. That's what's taking a toll on the marriage. It's money. They've got, and that's one of the biggest things that often rips marriages and partnerships apart. It's money. It's a money thing that's worrying them, because you've got that card there, the Nine of Coins, and the Nine of Coins is your personal fortune. So he's probably worried about his personal fortune. He's also worried about keeping her in the style that she's become accustomed to. Is there anything else that is putting burdens on their marriage? Is there anything else putting a burden on Harry and Meghan's marriage in 2 cards? Right, the Page of Wands. I'm wondering if that's Archie. A child. The King of Cups. Alright, communication with either Charles or William. Or lack of. Yeah, distant. 2 of Wands. Look, see, 3 cards. So communication, Page of Wands. This is either Charles, but Charles is Scorpio. The King of Cups is a Scorpio. But then I suppose we can also read him as a Cancerian as well, which is what William is. It's a water sign male. So communication with a water sign male has been distant. Probably the brother more than likely, to be honest, because I don't think that Harry has a really big beef with his dad, but certainly with his brother. So this is probably William. So what's also putting a massive kind of burden on the happiness of their marriage is the lack of communication with his brother. Okay. But I'm wondering why this would put a burden on the marriage. But why does this put a burden on their marriage? Why does the lack of communication with William put a burden on their marriage in 2 cards? Because the 6 of Coins. So generosity. Or somebody's asking something. The Empress. Because of a woman's generosity, or generosity with a woman. Empress is the mother. Or receiving money from the mother. Receiving money from the mother. What is that? Because of the generosity of the Empress. The sharing. 6 of Coins. So the Page of Wands, communication with William has been distant with the 2 of Wands energy. There is also putting a burden on their relationship because of the 6 of Coins. Receiving money from the mother. What is that? Is there something we don't know about, or something like that? I'm wondering if there's something we don't know about concerning maybe a financial agreement or financial setup. No, but I think that, you know that Empress? I think that that's Diana. Six of Coins can also be the social status as well. The social status. The Empress. That's interesting. I'll have to think about this one a moment. Because it's putting a struggle on their relationship because of this Six of Coins. Generosity from a woman. A woman's generosity. Generosity and nurturing is not being given here, or cannot be given. Somebody is powerless to give. Oh, I just pulled another card. The other two weren't making much sense. The Ace of Swords often means powerlessness. Somebody is powerless to give. This isn't a woman, this is love and care, because somebody is powerless to give love and care to the other. I'm wondering, I don't want to go too much into it. I really don't want to go too much. I don't want to give, because if I go too much into the reading in that way, then I'm going to be giving an opinion on stuff, and that's what I don't want to do. It's not what I want to do. It's not where I want to go. So we're just going to take those cards up, because I know that if I go too much into that area of the reading, it's going to be that I'm going to be putting my, I'm going to be putting my personal opinion on a lot of stuff, and I just don't want to have to do that on the read. So we're going to put that back in. All I'll say on this is that their relationship is burdened. All right, it is, because there are burdens to remain happy in the relationship, in the marriage. All right, because he's always having to defend her against criticism. Okay, that's him. Can you see his face there? It's exactly Harry. Look at the hair, red face. Harry's always having to defend Meghan against criticism. Can you see? She has a lot of haters, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because nobody deserves that. I know that she's done a lot of stuff that's probably not nice, like her dad and things like that. I understand that. I get it. But all the same, geez, some vitriol, man, is not great, The other thing is that, and I asked, what was the other question I asked? I said, well, what is what are the burdens? Because we can see burdens of burden to feel happy within the marriage, because he's having to defend her against criticism. Okay, showing here. I said, well, what else is putting a burden on the marriage? Well, money. That's the other thing that's burdening this marriage. Harry, remember that this is second deacon in Virgo, so that's Harry's card. So Harry may be worried about his personal fortune. So his personal fortune, the money that he got from his mum. Right? The money that he got. Oh, hang on. I've just thought. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, let me get them cards out. I've just thought about it. Oh, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. Sorry, guys. Oh, my goodness. It's making sense now. Right, there's the Empress. I'm getting her out again. I'm just going to get out that Six of Coins. You know what I think? I think this, the burdens on to remain happy on the marriage are coming from William. Because we can see that communication has been distant with William. And it's putting a burden on the marriage because of the money that they've received from the mother. The mother is Diana, the Empress. The Six of Coins is the money that they've received. So perhaps this is kind of connecting in with Harry's worries about his personal fortune dwindling down. Because he's worrying about keeping Meghan in the, he's worried about his personal fortune, and he's worried about keeping Meghan in the style that she's become accustomed to. All right. The other burden is the distant communication with his brother because of the money received from the mum. So perhaps they've argued about money. Perhaps Harry and William argued about the cash. Maybe one of the things that they argued about was his personal fortune. He said things like, I'm just speculating, obviously, here. William may have said certain things to Harry like, You know, are you sure that you know what you're doing? What about the money from mum? It's not going to last forever, that type of thing, which then says to me that William would have known that what Harry was planning to do. William knew that Harry was planning to do a runner. He must have done, because the burdens on their marriage, they are burdened. They're feeling burdened to remain happy in the marriage, not just coming from the fact that he's defending Meghan against all the criticism. It's coming from his worries about his personal fortune, and also he's worrying about, you know, how he keeps her in the style that she's accustomed to. The burdens are also that communication with William, communication, Page of Wands, with William, King of Cups, has been distant with the Two of Wands. Why is this a worry? Because of the money received from the mother. That's Diana there. It must be that they've not been speaking as well, because he's probably turned around to Harry and said something like, it must be that, said something like she's a gold digger. So he must have known that that they were planning to leave, because I think that William's turned around to Harry and said something like, if you leave, you do realise your money's not going to last forever, you know, because he's worrying. Can you see how we're making the connection? He's worrying about his personal fortune. He's worrying about keeping her in the style that she's been accustomed to. And the burdens on the marriage are his lack of communication with the brother. So this is weighing down on the happiness. He's obviously not happy to have this. He's obviously not happy to have that. But it's a burden, because the Six of Coins and there's been an argument about that, his money, his finances. I think William's talked to him about his finances and said, look, if you leave the royal family, you do realise that your money won't last forever. Despite, you know, all of the stuff, all of the, you know, the deals that they'd been making. He's probably preempted them and thought to be honest with you, this is why I was saying, I don't know whether I said it in the first time that I was, you know, when I started this reading or not, but I think what I said was, you know, it looks to me like they tend to go gung-ho on stuff, Harry and Meghan. They're basically cut from the same cloth. I think they're very much the same type of person. They're very similar to each other. They're very gung-ho, and they tend to act before, you know, they tend to jump before they can think. They don't think things through properly. I don't think that they do. I think they jump ahead and then they repent at leisure, you know. Whereas I think in a way, and remember, I'm not backing anybody on this. I really am not. I'm not. I really, seriously, I'm not. I've done readings on these guys before, and I've been as accurate as fuck. Those readings, unfortunately, were taken down. But I did actually predict I think it was last summer, I actually predicted through Harry's readings. I did a How Does Harry, Meghan Feel for Each Other readings, 2 separate ones, an hour apiece. And I did predict that they would be moving. And Harry, I saw him they were looking at getting deals. And I said in that reading, it looked like they would be doing it in another country, and I was right. It's a shame I didn't leave the readings up, but I took them down. Couldn't be bothered with all the critics, it's just getting on my nerves. But I think that, look, because the tarot won't tell you everything, but it will tell you to join up the dots, which is why, as a Scorpio person, I love investigating, and I like joining up the dots. To me, this is why I couldn't work it out. Couldn't work it out. Money coming from the mother. Money, 6 of Coins, is being received. It's being handed. Can you see how the money is being handed? Look at the hands. Money that was handed from the mother, that came from the mother. So this is why I feel that the argument possibly between Harry and William was, or why they've really fallen out, is because one of the things that that William's probably said to him as well is, how are you going to manage? That's why it's a burden. The distant communication with William is a burden on the marriage, because the money situation here is burdening them down. They both know what's been said. Harry would have told, I think, Meghan this, that William thinks that she's a gold digger, you know. It's amazing. It's amazing what the tarot can do, and how the tarot can kind of inform you on certain things. So I don't know. I think I'm going to end that reading here. I just wanted to put something up. I just think a bit different. I just felt like putting up something a bit different. But I think if we're going to do this, you know, very quickly one more time, and then we're going to call it a night, because we're nearly at 40 minutes on the reading. But yeah, I'm going to have a look though as well and see if there's anything else that they're hiding here, because I can see that they're worried about a secret coming out. I think part of it is that they're not happy in the marriage because of all of this other stuff. Is there anything else We'll use the Dark Mansion Tarot. Is there anything else that they're worried about coming out? Is there anything else that Harry and Meghan are worried about coming out? Any other secrets that they're worried about coming out in 1 to 2 cards? Let's have a look. Right. Reversed. That's 2 people who are falling out of love. 7 of Wands, giving up. Strength in the reverse. Losing control. Lack of no strength left. So they're also hiding. Yeah, and it was definitely reversed. It was definitely reversed. Or was it reversed? Or was it reversed? I'm not sure whether it was reversed now. But it came out in my hand reversed. I'm going to shuffle again. Sorry, guys. I don't know whether that was a reversal or not. I don't know whether that was a reversal or not, judging by the way the cards look. So I'm just going to shuffle again, and then we're going to have a look. I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to turn these the right way up again. Sorry about that, guys, but I just want to shuffle again. It didn't feel like that was right. Okay. Show me again, please. 2 cards, 2 to 3 cards. Is there any other secrets that Harry and Meghan are hiding? What are they worried? You said that they're worried about a secret coming out. We know part of this is them not being happy in the marriage. But what is anything else at all? Okay, these are upright. Page of Pentacles. What is Archie? Is Archie a Taurus baby, is he? Because I reckon that's Archie. 7 of Cups, a smoke screen. There's a smoke screen around Archie. Archie, the Page of Cups, a smoke screen, 7 of Cups energy. Partnering up. So there's something stressed, feeling stressed out in the marriage. 3 of Cups. I think they're saying a few things here. I think that there's a smoke screen around Archie, because Archie is the baby. Page of Coins is a Taurus. Page of Coins is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, so that's Archie. There's a smoke screen, so something is being hidden concerning Archie. So there's a smoke screen around Archie. They don't want that to come out. There may also be, we've got the 3 of Cups showing here. So the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Cups showing here. I'm wondering if there's anything like a third party in the relationship with the 10 of Swords and the Hierophant. Could be something like that. I don't want to get too much into that stuff, but there could be a third party here. There's somebody who's really stressing out about the marriage. Can you see that? The 10 of Swords and the Hierophant. When you get the 10 of Swords, somebody's feeling deeply hurt. Really stressing out. Could be third party situation happening because you've got the 3 of Cups here. Can you see a one man with 2 women here? Stressing out about the marriage. A lot of stress in that marriage. Something about a smoke screen with Archie as well. Very interesting reading. Let's quickly do it again then. So finally, we just quickly reiterate. So I just started off just messing about with the cards while I was watching a person's channel this evening. And this is what I found. I just asked the question, are they going to move back to the UK? 3 of Swords to me says a no. They're staying where they are for the time being. 2 of Wands. But look how they're looking at the plans. They're staying where they are whilst they plan. Okay, they may have a couple of ideas in the pipeline with the 2 of Swords. They're worried though about a secret coming out with that Moon and the Fool energy showing there. Okay, and the secret coming out may be relating to feeling stressed out or feeling burdened to be happy or feeling it's a struggle. 10 of Wands to be happy within the marriage of the Hierophant energy. So I asked, what are they struggling with? Well, there's Meghan, 10 of Swords. She's receiving a lot of criticism and Harry is consistently trying to defend her. So that's probably taking a toll on their marriage. And I asked, why is it taking a toll on their marriage? And what did we get for that? Because it's basically, I think, damaging their brand. That's what I think it is. Because I think that Harry is worried about his personal fortune. So if they can't marry, he's going to have to keep dipping into his personal fortune. He's got the most money. He's got more money than her. He's worth, what, 35 million? She's worth, what, 4 million? Something like that. Remember, people always say, oh, they've got loads of money, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, of course, they've got more than you and me. But they're millionaires living in a billionaire playground. Do you see where I'm coming from? It's about living beyond your means. So he's probably, the reason that this you know, the damage, the criticism that he's so fervently trying to defend with her is taking a toll on the marriage, it's because his personal personal fortune, second deacon in Virgo. That's his personal fortune there. He's worried about it. But also he's worried with the Nine of Swords about keeping her in the style that she's become accustomed to. Look, nice dresses, nice environment, you know, money, everything. He's worried all about that too. I asked what else is he worried about? What else is kind of taking a toll on their marriage, on the happiness of their marriage? Communication with his brother, the King of Cups, being distant. Two of Wands energy showing there. And why is that taking a toll on their marriage? Why? Because the money received from the mother must be Diana's money given. So if we read, it didn't tell us much, it was just saying that. So reading behind the lines, I'm thinking to myself, it must be taking a toll on their marriage because of maybe something William that said to Harry. How are you going to survive? How are you going to live? What if you don't get all the deals in? What if you don't make all the money that you want to make? You're going to have to live off your money. And it won't last, you know. He could have said anything akin to her being a gold digger. That type of thing. That's why it's taking a toll. That really could probably eat into their relationship. It's certainly eating into him because he's certainly thinking about whatever William said to him, because he's worried about his personal fortune and he's worried about keeping her in the style that she's become accustomed to. So whatever he said here, it's certainly burning a hole into him now, I think. We asked, is there anything else that is there anything that's being kept a secret? What else is being kept a secret in this relationship? Well, I think something about a smokescreen to do with Archie, because the Seven of Cups is a smokescreen, and the Page of Coins is Archie, because he's a Taurus. I think he was born in May, wasn't he, or something. Smokescreen to do with a child here, the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Also, somebody may be worried, Ten of Swords energy, about a third party, Three of Cups within the marriage. The Hierophant. Interesting. That's it, guys. That's what I'm doing. I'm knackered. I've got some clients to do now. Just to let you know again, I'm not being nasty. I really, honestly, there's just too much to think about right now with all of this stuff going on in the world. So please just don't get out of your pram. There's no malice involved. I'm not against Harry and Meghan. I really don't care about them. I've got my own life. They don't pay my bills. They don't do anything for me. I wish them the best. Hope that they sort through their shit. I really do. I hope the whole royal family's okay with this whole thing going on, and Charlie flaming well catching this thing, you know. I hope that they're all right. I really, really do. So don't take offence to any of it. It's just a bit of fun. Take it as you want. Don't get out your pram. There's no malice at all. I have to keep stressing that because you get some really weird people coming in and like, oh, and it's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Oh my God, do you have a life? Okay, it's all, you know, just enjoy it for what it is. Simple as that. Alright, love you guys loads. I'm probably going to come back with a reading probably sometime. I'll try and do them in the evenings when I've finished clients and that in the day. I'll try and get some stuff done that for you guys. Just some content for people to watch, just so they get distracted from what's going on. You know, I've been quarantined on my own. I can't go and see my twinny and my family over in, you know, where they live, because you're not allowed to in the UK. We're not allowed to go and see family and that. We have to completely isolate, and we have to also social distance and stuff, and it's been really hard because I'm completely alone. So, you know, I'll just try and put up content as much as I possibly can, because to whoever watches it, my YouTube family and stuff, I love you guys very much. So yeah, what I can when I can and stuff, but I need the help too, to be honest with you, because I've been quite lonely. So this is a little bit of an outlet for me as well. I might do some videos on how I edge my decks and things like that too, and how I kind of cut down, because I've cut down this deck here. This was my Thelema Tarot, and I trimmed it and edged it. It's turned out really nice. Can you see the edging on that? Well, I hope it looks good. The lighting isn't showing it up to its best. Yeah, the lighting's a bit shitty at the moment. Can you see? There you go. It's been edged in black. It's a really nice deck that I've done here. So happy with it. But yeah, I'll probably do some videos on that. We'll just see whatever comes up. Alright, love you guys loads. Have a great evening. Bye bye.